Welcome to Manflow Yoga. It's yoga for guys.
Hey guys, it's Steve with Manflow Yoga. Today I'm going to run you through a flow session again. We're going to start today on our back. You're going to lift your legs up 90 degrees so that your legs are perpendicular with the ground. Your back is on the ground. Try to make it so that your lower back is touching the ground. From here, you're going to start to lower down your legs. Go to about a 45-degree angle, and then just reach your shoulders and neck off the ground. And hold that. Squeeze your lower back into the ground. And try and make it so that your lower back is touching the ground. And then raise your legs back up. Keep your shoulders and neck raised up here, above the ground, off the ground. Raise them up just a little bit now. And then lower your legs back to about a 45-degree angle. Make sure that your neck isn't crunched here so that your neck is in line with your back here. You're not squeezing your neck, you're not squeezing your chin to your chest. That's going to put a lot of unnecessary pressure on your back, on your neck. And now bring your leg back up to a 90-degree angle again. And try and bring your shoulders and your neck up just a little bit more again. And now lower your legs to a 45-degree angle. Reach out with your toes, so your toes are pointed toward the wall if you can. Make sure your lower back is strong and pressed into the ground. Keep your shoulders and your neck up. And then bring your legs back to 90 degrees. 2 more of these. Raise up just a little bit in your shoulders and neck. Your elbows are pointed at the ceiling. Your fingers are interlaced behind your back. And lower your legs down 45 degrees. Make sure that your lower back is pressed into the ground. A few more seconds. Point your toes. And bring them back up 90 degrees again. Last one. Keep your neck and shoulders up. Go a little bit higher on your neck and shoulders. And then lower your legs to 45 degrees. Elbows are pointed up. Make sure your lower back is pressed into the ground. And bring your legs back up. And then bring your knees into your chest. So that was our core warm-up. Now we're going to do some more core warm-up. So we're going to start, put your legs back up. Lower them down to 45 degrees. Bring your hands behind your neck. Bring your left knee in. Bring your shoulders and neck off the ground. And then bring your right elbow to try and touch your left knee. Try and get your left shoulder off the ground. And then come back down. Switch legs. So now your right leg comes in. Come off on your shoulders and neck. Twist so that your left elbow is coming to your right knee. Get your right shoulder off the ground. Squeeze your lower back into the ground. Twist back to center. And then bring your knees back in. Now stick your right leg back out. Left knee is in. Bring your shoulders and neck off the ground. Bring your right elbow to your left knee. Squeeze hard. Bring your left shoulder off the ground just a little bit. And twist back the middle. Bring your right knee in. Now put your left leg out. Twist one more time. So bring your shoulders and neck up first. And then twist so that your left elbow's coming to your right knee. Pick up a little bit so that your right shoulder's off the ground. And then come back to middle. Squeeze your knees into your chest. And come around and get into 4 points. So come to your hands and your knees. Push back up into a down dog. Bring your left leg up to meet your right. Bring your left leg up to be framed by your hands. Bring your right foot up to meet. Go into a flow. So reach your arms up all the way, extended mountain pose. Bring your hands to touch at the top with your palms touching. Make sure you have a nice, strong, engaged core here. Knees slightly bent. Thigh muscles engaged. Turn your navel up so your pubic bone turns up. Bring your shoulders up and then set them down so that your shoulders are pulling away from your neck. Let your gaze drift to about 6 feet on the ground, 6 feet in front of you on the ground, and bring your hands into prayer. This is the strong pose. This is the strong standing pose that you're going to want to come back to when we have our breaks during the day. Bring your hands back up. Inhale. Extended mountain. Swan dive forward. Forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale to a half lift. So imagine like someone's pulling the crown of your head forward as far as possible. Your knees are bent as much as they need to be so that your back is parallel with the ground. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale back up, half lift. Like someone's pulling the crown of your head forward, trying to make your back as straight as possible. Bending your knees as much as you need to. Your hands can rest along your shins here. And then forward fold. One more half lift. So inhale. Bringing your head forward. Eyes are straight at the ground. Upper body is parallel with the ground. And fold forward again. And now come back. So bring your left leg back. Bring your right leg back. Lower down with your elbows tucked into your sides. And your shoulders, your elbows, and your upper body, everything's very connected here. So try and squeeze everything together so that it feels like it's just one piece. So that your upper body is just one thing. Nothing's isolated here. Lower all the way down and come to a baby cobra. So your shoulders are above your hands. Tops of your feet are on the ground. Engage your thighs so that your knees come off the ground. And then just peel your chest off the ground just a little bit. Reaching up just a little bit. Eyes are looking at the ground. Neck is long. And then lower down on an exhale. Flip your feet. Get ready to press into your hands. Press up into a front leaning rest position or a plank position. And then push back into down dog. Bring your feet to the top of the mat so you can bring one at a time, or you can jump up to bring your feet forward. Inhale to a half lift. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Extended mountain pose, arms reaching above your head. Exhale, forward fold. Come all the way down. Arms out to the side as you come down. Bend your knees slightly. Inhale to a half lift with your knees bent slightly. Nice straight back. And then exhale, forward fold. And now from here you can jump back, or you can bring one leg back at a time. Lower down, chaturanga, keeping your elbows in tight, keeping your shoulders locked in with your upper body. Lowering down all the way to the ground. Flip your feet so that the tops of your feet are on the ground. Engage your thighs. And then using your lower body strength, peel your upper body off the ground. Just your chest just comes a little bit off the ground. Raise your hands off the ground so you know that you're using just your just your lower body here. And then lower down. Flip your feet so that the bottoms of your feet are on the ground. Press up through your hands. And then come back to a down dog. From here, reach your left leg forward. So reach your left leg up. And then reach your left leg to be framed by your feet. Framed by your hands. Lower your right knee to the ground. Flip your right foot. And come into a low lunge. So bring your hands to your thigh. Press into your thigh. Try and engage your core. So again, that tilting up of your pelvis, which helps to open up your hip flexor, and then reach straight up. Arms should be straight here. You want to make them perpendicular with the ground. So you shouldn't be able to see your arms. They should be behind, out of your peripheries. Peripherals. Anyways. Bring your arms back down. And you're going to twist. So just reach your left hand out and up and reach it straight up to the sky. Just a nice little twist to help warm you up. Bring your left hand back. Root your back foot. And then bring your left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Let's open up our hips here. So bend your left knee, and then start to let the weight from your heel and your left foot fall over your right side. Make sure that your arms are in line here though, so you don't want to be pushing down on your right hand more than your left hand, and you want to keep your shoulders squared up to the front. And now let's bring your left foot back and come back to down dog. Reach your right leg up, bring your right leg forward, be framed by your feet, be framed by your hands, sorry. Lower your left knee down, flip your foot, and then come into a low lunge. So bring your hands to your right thigh, engage your core, maybe press into your right thigh a little bit so you can get a little bit more of a hip flexor stretch. And then reach your arms up, fingers pointed to the sky, palms facing in, and they should be in line with your body. Bring your arms down now. Your left foot goes to the inside of your right foot. Reach up through your right hand, reach straight up, and a little twist. So just starting to warm up your back. Make sure that your right foot here stays flat on the ground and that your knee doesn't start to poke out to one side. Keep it squared. Bring your right hand down. Flip your back foot. Bring your right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee and then let the weight from your heel in your right foot drift over to the left side of your body. Your hands and shoulders should be even here, should be facing forward. And if you look under your left armpit, you might be able to see your right heel. Not as crazy as it sounds. So you're just letting the weight from your foot open up your hip here, open up your right hip. Now bring your right foot back. Your right foot comes to meet your left foot and press back into a down dog. From here, bring your left foot back up. So now with your left foot up, your right toes are on the ground, extended as far back as possible, and your heel's off the ground. Now from here, you're going to reach your body forward, reach your arms up, and then come into a high lunge or a crescent warrior. Make sure that your knee is over your ankle and your left foot. Make sure that your right foot is strong and engaged so that it's straight. There's no sag in your right knee. Your heel is pressed back and strong. And you engage your core so that your upper body is nice and perpendicular with the ground. You don't want to have your lower back weak here. You want to have a nice, strong, straight back. Reach your arms up, framing your head with your biceps. And now we're going to come into Warrior 3. So reach forward
Reach your arms forward as much as possible. Keep your arms spread. Your palms are going to be facing each other, and your right leg is going to be extended as far back as possible. Heel pressed out, toes facing in toward your body, and there's a micro bend in your left knee that you're balancing on. We're creating as much separation as possible between your toes, your heel, and the tips of your fingers. Now bring your arms down, and we're going to come into a standing split. So reach your right leg up as high as possible. Really squeeze your glutes here. That'll help you create that distance, create that split. A few more breaths. Keep reaching. Make sure that your hips are squared up here. So you're actually going to have to turn your right foot in just a little bit. If you don't, you're going to find that your right foot kind of flares out to the side. So you want to keep your hips square here. And then bring your right foot to meet your left foot. And then come back into a forward plank. Lower your arms down, so just your forearms down. We're going to come into dolphin arms down dog. So your forearms are in line with your shoulders. You're doing the same thing that you'd be doing with your lower body. So your heels are pressing back. But now you're just going to walk a little bit forward. So bring your toes closer to your upper body. And this is going to help open up your shoulders. So just a few breaths here. We're going to do this between every sequence that we have today so that we can really open up our shoulders. And come up off your forearms now, so you're pressed back into a normal down dog. And now inhale your right leg up. Bring your right leg forward to be framed by your hands. Start to extend your upper body forward. Make sure that your left toes are on the ground, your heels off the ground. And then reach your arms up and come into a high lunge. So reaching your arms out as far forward as possible so that when you come up, you have a nice, strong, and tall crescent warrior. Make sure that you turn your pelvis up so that your core is engaged. So when your core is engaged, it's going to help you exercise your core, obviously. It's also going to help you get a deeper stretch in your hip flexors. Your palms are facing each other. Biceps are framing your head. And you shouldn't be able to see your arms, so they should be somewhat behind you. That's going to help open up your shoulders. Now from here, we're going to rock forward into Warrior 3. So bend into your right knee. Come off your left, put all the weight into your right leg, come off your left foot, and then reach your arms forward. So your arms aren't going to be touching, they're going to be in line with your shoulders, but they're going to be reaching as far forward as possible. You're going to be trying to lift them up so that they're in a straight line with the rest of your body. Your left leg, that heel is going to be pointed back toward the back wall, and your hips are going to be in line. So make sure that if you were to look back at your foot, you would see that the toes are facing straight to the ground. They're not angled off so that they're kind of pointed at the left side. And then make sure that your toes are flexed so that they're facing toward your body. Reaching forward in your arms, pushing back through your heel, creating as much distance as possible between your heel and your fingertips. And then come forward into standing splits. So reach your arms down, rest on your hands and your right foot, and reach your left foot up as high as possible. Trying to touch the back of your Achilles, trying to touch that to the ceiling, essentially. This is called standing splits. So you're trying to create as much distance as possible between your legs. For a little more challenge, you can bring your arms behind your calf And if you pull into your calf, you can get your head in closer to your right leg, and that'll also allow you to create some more separation and allow you to reach your left leg up a little bit higher. From here, bring your left leg to meet your right leg, and then come into a down dog. Now we're going to come back into dolphin arms. So lower your forearms down so that your forearms are in line with your shoulders, and walk your feet up just a little bit. So edge your feet up so you feel more tension in your shoulders and your upper body. You're stretching out your upper body here and your shoulders, opening up those shoulders that are so hard to open in men. And then reach your right leg up as high as you can, just a few breaths. Lower down, walk your legs just a little bit closer now, and reach your left leg up. Little higher, a couple more seconds. Lower down, and now come back into down dog. Reach your left leg up now. Bring your left leg forward to be framed by your hands. Bring your right leg up just a little bit. Spin it so that it's at a 45-degree angle to your front foot, and come up into Warrior One. Make sure that you're pressing down hard in your back foot, and that your front foot is flat and on the ground, and your knee is above your ankle in your front foot. Make sure that your hips are squared up toward the front wall. You want to have a nice strong core here again, so pull your core up, making sure that you're not sinking in your lower back, making sure that you have a nice strong, tall back. And your arms are framing your head, reaching straight up. Now for a little variation here, put your palms together, squeeze your palms together and push them straight up, and let your neck fall back a little bit and look straight up. This is just a more traditional Warrior One. We're really used to the Vinyasa Warrior One, where we have our arms framing our head. This is just a little different sensation. Then bring your arms down to frame your foot. Bring your left foot back into a three-legged dog, and then let your left leg touch the ground, left foot touch the ground. Now bring your right foot up, and then bring your right foot to be framed by your hands. Bring your left foot up just a little bit, make it so it has a 45-degree angle toward your front foot, and then come up into Warrior One. Make sure your hips are squared off to the front. Back foot is pressed strong into the ground. If it's too easy, maybe make a little more space between your stance. If it's too hard, bring your left foot up a little bit. Engage your core so that you have a nice strong core here and a nice long back. It's also going to help you open up your hip flexors. Reach your arms up, and your biceps are framing your head. Now a little variation, same thing. So bring your palms together, let your head come back a little bit, and then while you're pushing your palms together, so pressing your arms together, you also reach up. You're trying to get as tall as you can, reaching for the sky. Now bring your arms down to frame your foot. Bring your right foot up and back into a three-legged dog, and then bring your right foot down. And we're going to come into dolphin arms, down dog again. So lower your forearms down, fingers are facing the front, forearms are in line with your shoulders, and then press up, and then try and walk your feet closer to your forearms and get a nice stretch for your shoulders. 5 more breaths here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then press back up and come into down dog. Take a few breaths here just to recover. 5 deep breaths, 5 slow breaths. Remember, we're just doing yoga. The worst thing that can happen is you fall over, you take some water, or your strength fails you and you fall over. So just remember that you're not in any real danger. Try and resist your fight or flight reflexes and breathe in control. Bring your left leg up now. Bring your left foot forward to be framed by your hands. Come up into crescent warrior. Remember, strong engaged core, arms reaching up, biceps framing your ears. Strong back leg, so knee off the ground. That back leg should be straight. Your front leg, you've got your knee over your ankle. For a little more resistance, bring the toes in your front foot off the ground. So dorsiflexing your foot. It's going to help you engage some more muscles. And a little variation, twist our hands so that your pinkies come in. It's going to help open up your shoulders a little bit and reach up. Make sure that you don't start to bend your back when you do this. Make sure you keep a straight, strong back, and you stay the same in your lower body. Now we're going to open up into Warrior 2. So bring your back leg to a 90-degree angle to your front foot. Bend deeply into your left foot. Yep, bend deeply into your left foot. Make sure that your core is strong and engaged. Bringing your butt under your body. Arms come up, shoulder length, no higher than shoulder length. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and then reach your arms out so you have a nice, strong, engaged back and your arms are engaged. For a little bit deeper here, come off your heel and your front foot so that you're on your toes. Bend a little deeper and then let your heel come to the ground. That's going to help you engage a little bit more, get a little bit deeper. And now for the final trick, try and pull your feet together. So just squeeze your legs together. You're not actually going to move your feet at all, but you're going to create that sensation. That's going to help open up your hips a little bit more. Windmill your arms down. Bring your left leg up and back. Come back to down dog. Now reach your right leg up. Bring your right leg forward to be framed by your feet. Come up into crescent warrior. Strong back leg. Knee over ankle in your front leg. Toes off the ground in your front foot. Core strong and engaged. Arms reaching up. Framing your biceps. And now twist your hands so that your pinkies come to face in. So your pinkies are facing each other now. Remember, upper body doesn't change. Lower body doesn't change. Now we're going to open up into Warrior 2. So bring your arms to shoulder level. Twist your body. Back foot 90 degrees to your front foot. Core, your butt under your core. So squeeze it in. Literally do a crunch. Now bring your pelvis up so that your butt is under your core. That's going to help open up your hips. Make sure you can see your big toe around your right knee. Bend into your right leg a little bit more. Make sure that your body's still squared up to the side wall. You're not leaning to the front or to the back, but that your body's staying neutral. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and then reach your arms out in opposite directions as far as possible. Bring your heel off the ground in your front foot. Bend a little bit deeper. Now set your heel down. And now for the final touch, try and squeeze your legs together. Squeeze your feet together so that you're trying to close the gap between your stance. But down, bring your right leg up and back, and then lower down and come back to down dog. Now lower your arms again. We're going to come to dolphin arms one more time. So 5 deep breaths here. Walk your feet up as far as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back into down dog. Bring your left leg up. Bring your left leg forward to be framed by your feet. Pull your hands up, reach up, crescent warrior. Now we're going to do a little bit of a variation here. We're going to reach up and reach back. So you're going to stretch your back a little bit here. Also going to help open up your hip flexor. Keep reaching up, keep reaching back, making your back longer, not just constricting it, not just crunching it, but making it longer as you bend. And now come forward and come into warrior 2. So back to where we were just before we went into this crescent warrior again. Back to that same good flexibility, core engaged, butt under your core, knee over your ankle and your front foot. Back foot pressed down strong. Now bring your left forearm to your left knee, just above your knee on the thigh, and reach your right arm straight up to the sky, reaching as high as possible, imagining that someone's pulling your right arm up. Opening up your back here, and not just sinking into your left thigh. You want to feel a lot of the pressure in your core. You don't want to just feel it in your thigh. And come back to warrior 2. Windmill your arms down. Bring your left foot up and back, and then let your left foot touch the ground. Come to meet the right foot. Now bring your right foot up. Bring your right foot forward to be framed by your hands. Come up into crescent warrior again. Make sure that your core is turned up. Back leg is off the ground and strong. Bring your toes off the ground in your front foot. And now reach up and back. So you're going to go into a nice little back bend here. But don't just crunch into your back. You want to reach up and back. So you're extending as you're bending. Reach your arms back. Just a little bit more. Feel the deeper stretch in your hip flexor. And now come forward, come back to crescent warrior, and open up into warrior 2. So your body is squared up toward the left side now. Right knee is over your right ankle. Back foot strong, pressed down. And you're gazing straight over your middle finger in your right hand. Now bring your right forearm just above your right knee and reach straight up through your left hand. Imagine that someone's pulling your arm up, and don't sink all of your weight into your right thigh. Keep a lot of the pressure in your core. So as you reach up, allow some of that pressure to come out of your thigh, come into your core, come into your upper body, so your right thigh isn't so overloaded. Now come back into warrior 2 and windmill your arms down. Now bring your right leg up and back and lower down. And now we're going to come into dolphin again. So lower your forearms, walk your feet up, try and get your butt up as high as possible, 5 breaths. 5, 4. Bring your hips up higher. Bring your feet a little bit closer. 2, 1. And come back into down dog. Alright, from here, you're going to hate me. Bring your feet up to meet your hands and rise up into chair pose. So reach your arms up as high as possible. Get your chest up in the air. Sit back deep into your chair. Bring the weight into your heels. Arch your back, so squeeze your back together, trying to bring your butt up and your back perpendicular to the ground. Reach up just a little bit higher in your hands. Come a little bit straighter, lower a little bit down, sit a little deeper, forward fold. Come and do a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your feet back. Lower down chaturangas, keeping your elbows in tight, letting your chest touch the ground, and then coming into cobra. So pressing the top of your feet into the ground, peeling your chest off the ground, reaching forward, and then exhale, lower down. Flip your feet, and then come back into down dog. Now come into your forearms for a dolphin arms down dog. 4, 3, 2, 1. Press into down dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Bend your knees, bring your heels off the ground, look forward, and bring your feet to meet your hands. And come into extended mountain pose. So reach your arms up all the way. And now we're going to come into eagle arms. So bring your right arm under your left arm, swing it under. Try and press your fingers from your right hand into your left palm, or if you can, interlace your fingers and reach up, so you're opening up your shoulders. Now from here, come into a strong stance on your left leg. Bend your leg slightly, reach your right leg back, and we're going to come into warrior 3 with eagle arms. So your heel is pressed back toward the wall, your eagle arms and your upper body, and you're reaching forward in your upper body, trying to touch your crown of your head to the front wall. You're balancing on your left foot. 3, 2, 1. And then coming back to standing, keeping the eagle arms, releasing the eagle arms back up to an extended mountain pose. And now we're going to switch. So now you're bringing your left arm under your right arm, touching your left fingers to your right palm, or if you can, interlacing your fingers, or you can just grab your shoulders like this, if you can't quite get there. And now we're going to come onto your right foot, so start balancing on your right foot now, micro bend in your right knee, and then lean forward. Come off your left foot so that you're just on your right foot. Press your left heel toward the back wall and reach your upper body forward toward the front wall. Trying to create as much distance as you can between your crown of your head and your left heel. And if your arms are interlaced here, trying to bring your elbows up and out. So reaching those forward. It's going to help open up your shoulders. A couple more breaths. And now bring your left leg back to meet your right leg. Keep the eagle arms. And then after your left leg is back with your right leg, unwind your arms, reach up, chair pose. So sink down, get into a good chair pose here. Get your butt down low, weight in your heels, arms reaching up, extended, back straight, core engaged. You can see your toes if you look down. You should be able to see them around your knees. Forward fold. Now spread your legs about 6 inches, about hip width distance. Reach your arms under your feet so that your toes touch your wrist. And then just pull your upper body up. So we're going to get a nice stretch for your back here. And also for your hamstrings as well. Take a few breaths here. This is gorilla pose. Padahastasana. A few more breaths. Lower your down. So release your hands. Drop your left leg back. Drop your right leg back. And one more time. Going into dolphin arms, down dog. So lowering your forearms, walking your feet up. 5 breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pressing back into down dog. Now reach your left leg up and back. Bring your left leg forward to be framed by your hands. And then bring your right leg up to meet. And come into mountain pose. So rise up all the way. And then bring your arms to prayer. Sit down into chair pose now. Reach your arms up. Now we're going to come into eagle. So wind your left arm under your right arm. And then bring your right leg over your left leg. Try and squeeze your legs together. Keep that same chair pose mentality where you're trying to get low. Keep your back straight. And now the shoulder flexibility we've been working on all day. Try and reach your elbows up and out. And if you can't reach your shoulders, again, you can just grab, if you can't interlace your fingers, you can just grab onto your shoulders and pull. Stand back up, come to mountain pose. And now bring your right arm onto your left leg. Come down. Bring your left leg over your right leg. And the tighter you squeeze your left leg over your right leg, the easier this pose is. So squeezing together, squeezing your legs. Reaching up, trying to get a straight back. Again, that chair pose mentality. Balancing on your one leg. Reaching your elbows out and up. 3, 2, 1. Stand up, unwind your arms, reach up, mountain pose, fully extended, and bring your arms to prayer. And now just for funsies, come into chair pose. 10 breaths here. 10, 9, 8. Reach your arms up, up and back, trying to get them perpendicular with the ground. Sitting deeper into your seat. Getting your back perpendicular with the ground. Bringing the weight out of your toes into your heels, into the back of your feet. Bending a little bit deeper into your legs. 3, 2, 1. Release. Forward fold. And then come back into down dog. And we're going to do our dolphin arms again. I know you probably hate me now. Lower your forearms. Bring your feet up. Walk them closer to your forearms. Get your butt up and back, hips up in the air. 3, 2, 1. And come back into down dog. So bring your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale all the way up in the mountain pose. Bring your hands to prayer and prepare for warrior 3. So shoot your hands back up, interlace your fingers, and then point your index fingers up. Start to transfer the weight of your body into your left foot, slight bend, micro bend in your left leg, and now start to reach up through your arms, reach forward, and as your upper body goes forward and tilts, your right leg comes up and back, heel presses toward the back wall, and now squeeze your shoulders together so that you can create as much distance as possible in your shoulders, stretching your shoulders out, reaching your fingers forward and up, and then pressing your heel toward the back wall. So making it so that your body is like an L shape. Keep that slight micro bend in your left knee. Reach, push, 3, 2, 1, and come back out the same way you came in. So coming back up to a standing pose, bringing your right foot to meet your left, and bringing your hands back to prayer. Bring your hands back up. You can switch your grip, so just changing your interlacing of your fingers, one finger over. Start to balance on your right foot now, so bring the weight of your body to your right foot, get that micro bend in your right knee, and now start to lean your upper body forward, extending out with your fingers, and bring your left foot off the ground and try and get parallel with the ground. So reaching out as far as you can forward with your hands, squeezing your head with your arms, trying to reach up a little bit higher in your arms so that your shoulders open up, pressing your left heel toward the back wall, trying to create as much distance as possible between your heel and your interlaced fingers. Reach a little bit more. Engage your core here, so that same turning of your pelvis up, engage your core so you have a nice straight, long back. 3, 2, 1. Come back up to standing. Slowly. Bring your arms to prayer. Forward fold. And come into child's pose. So just relaxing here. Breathing deeply. Remembering that this is just yoga. You're not going to die. Keep breathing. Let's take 5 breaths. And now come back out. Come into down dog. And we're going to do turbo dog now. So turbo dog, your forearms are almost touching the ground, but just not quite touching the ground. So they're about an inch off the ground, pressing hard into your hands. And you're pressing back as if you're in down dog, but your forearms are just barely off the ground. It's going to create a lot of pressure on your forearms. It's going to really help strengthen your forearms. We're going to do 10 breaths here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Make sure that you're pressing in your fingers. Make sure your fingertips are pressing into the ground, not just your palms. So you're using the strength of your whole hand. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And push back into child's pose again. Come to a front leaning rest position, so come to a plank. Bring your right hand to the middle of your mat. Spin your body so that your chest is facing the left side, and come up into side plank. Make sure you have a micro bend in your right arm. Bring your left foot off of your right foot if you can, and then reach over your body with your left arm. So reaching toward the front wall as much as possible. Make sure that your obliques are still engaged here so that you're trying to reach your upper body, your hips up as high as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your arm back. Lower your left leg. Turn back so that you're back into a front leaning rest position again. And then bring your left hand to the middle of your mat. Twist to the other side. Make sure you have a nice micro bend in your left elbow. And then reach your right arm up as high as possible. Reach your right leg off your left leg. And then extend your right arm forward. So you're opening up your side body. And then make sure that you're lifting up through your obliques. So trying to get your right hip as close as possible to the ceiling or the sky. So you're trying to reach your right arm as far as you can forward toward the front wall. Your right leg is trying to come off the ground as high as possible. And your right hip is trying to come off the ground as much as possible. Few more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Bring your arm back. Lower your leg. Lower your right leg to your left leg. Turn. Come into a plank position again. And then lower down on a 10 count. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, pressing down through your hands. 4, fingertips, not just your palms. 3, 2, 1. Now inhale to a cobra, lifting up through your body, peeling your chest off the ground, squeezing your shoulder blades together, pressing into the tops of your feet, squeezing your thighs so that your knees come off the ground. Coming up a little bit more, just a little bit more. Extend your neck so that it's as long as possible. It's looking about 2 feet in front of you. And then lower down, exhale. Inhale your left leg up and come to pigeon. So your left foot comes to your right hand, your left knee comes to your left hand. Make sure that your leg is straight behind you. So your right leg should be straight here, feet flat on the ground, tops of your feet flat on the ground. Come up to your hands, so press to your hands while you're in this half pigeon position. Come to your fingertips, look forward, and then start to walk your hands forward and bring your body weight over your left bent leg. And try and reach your body as far forward as possible. You're going to use your core strength here. That'll help you get a little bit deeper into the stretch. And just breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press your hands back up. Root your back foot. Bring your left leg up and back. And now bring your right leg up. And bring your right knee to your right hand. And your right foot to your left hand. Make sure that your back foot, your back leg is flat and on the ground. Top of your foot is touching the ground. Make sure it's pointing back straight. Come to your fingertips. Your fingertips are along your hips. Inhale your chest up, so puff it out. Pull your body forward, so engage your core and pull your body forward, and then start to walk your hands out. Come into pigeon on your right side. So your entire body weight now is now resting over your right bent leg. And just breathe deep here. Surrender into this pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Root your hands, root your back foot, bring your right leg up and back, and come back to all your fours or down dog, and then you're going to come to a seated position. So we're going to do some hurdle stretches now. So bring your right heel into your left thigh. Reach your arms straight up as high as possible. Twist your body so that your upper body is oriented with your your left leg, and then reach forward and grab the bottom of your left foot. You can bend your knee as much as possible as you need to do this, but try and make it so that you can interlace your fingers or grab onto your fingers somehow behind on the bottom of your foot. And then pull your body forward, and then try and touch your knee toward your ankle. Try and touch your forehead to your ankle. Do not touch your knee to your knee. Do not touch your knee to your ankle. That would be horrible. And if you can get your head to your knee, then try and get your head up your shin. So pull a little bit more. Only if it doesn't hurt. Don't hurt yourself doing this. We're at the end of the yoga now. You don't need to hurt yourself while you're cooling down. That would be ridiculous. So just do it if it serves you. If it works for you, do it. Don't try and, you're not going for your ultimate flexibility right now. Inhale back up the same way you came in, with a nice straight back and arms extended. And now switch legs. So your left heel comes to the inside of your right thigh. Reach your arms up, straight up. Orient your body toward your right leg now. Reach forward. Bend your knee as much as possible so that you can interlace your fingers underneath your foot. And then press your foot back out so that you can straighten your leg. And then pull your chest forward to your right toes. You imagine as if you're pulling your chest to your right toes, and then bend down. So trying to bring your head to your knee or up your shin. If you can't do that, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You can bend your knee as much as you want to if that stretch works for you. If you want, if you're feeling a little more advanced, take your fingers out from under your foot so that they're not interlaced, and just reach straight forward and just use your body strength to work this stretch. So if you have the flexibility, if you have the core strength and the strength, you actually don't need to have the bind with your fingers to do this stretch. Sometimes you can just use your body strength to do this. And now come back out, so reach your arms straight up. And now we're going to come into a seated twist. So bring your left leg straight out in front of you. Bring your right foot over your left knee. Bring your right hand behind the small of your back. Press up through your fingers so that your fingertips are on the ground. Reach your left arm up, and then bring your left arm to the outside of your right knee. And then twist. So press your knee into your elbow, not the other way around. If you press your knee into your elbow, that's going to get you the stretch you want. If you press your elbow into your knee, that's just going to make your back crack, and that's not going to do anything for your muscles. So try and turn so that you can look at the back wall. So shift your gaze toward the back. Make sure that your back is straight here. You don't want to sink into your back. You don't want a low back. You always want a nice, strong, full back in yoga. If your back's scrunched up, you're not going to be able to stretch your back, so make sure you're keeping it straight. Release your elbow from your knee and do a nice little counter bend here. So spin around to your left side. And now we're going to switch sides. So bring your right leg straight out in front of you, bring your left leg over your right knee, and then bring your left arm behind your back, behind the small of your back. Reach your right arm up. Bring it to the outside of your left knee and twist. So sitting up as straight as possible, trying to turn so that your head faces the back, pressing up through your back hand so that you're getting your back up as straight as possible, and squeezing and pushing your left thigh into your right elbow to get that stretch that you want. You can also imagine that you're trying to pull your right oblique to the outside of your left hip. Now release your elbow, release your hand, and come into a counter bend again. Come to face forward.
Hey guys, that's it for today. Hope you made it. Hope you learned something. Hope you got a good workout for your hips, your shoulders, your core, and your whole body. You can follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/manflowyoga, on Twitter at manflowyoga, or you can check out all our videos on youtube.com/manflowyoga. Namaste and have a great day.